So, hello, everybody. Welcome to Pastor Talk. And we are really glad to be here today. Pastor Brian, so glad to see you in the office.
This is literally the first time we've seen each other this week.
Yes, so we don't even know what we're talking about. There's so much to share.
Oh, my gosh.
I have heard tons of comments, by the way. Tons. Do people still use that? Tons of comments about your sermon. And the illustration you used.
The eating of the pumpkin pie elements one at a time.
But it proved and illustrated the point very well about when you separate all of these things. And
what was really interesting is, and Damien, I always loved Damien. He always tries to help. So he's trying to help me, like, visually, how to line things up, how the camera will, how the congregation will see them. So I had the box up there, and he's like, "Here, let me take all these out of the box for you." I'm like, "No, they can't see them ahead of time." He just has this incredibly puzzled. It's like, "Okay, I can't help you. You're beyond help." It's like none of that's going to work well.
And it became very apparent when you started eating nutmeg and...
Oh, my God. And the nutmeg of all of those was the worst.
Was it really?
Oh, yeah. It was the most bitter. Yeah. I mean, the shortening was...
It's pretty bad.
It was pretty much
not like eating butter.
This was like school paste.
Oh, yeah, that really hard... Old school paste.
Yeah, but anyway, thank you. That was, I thought that was a pretty visual.
It was.
Because we get in that place where we're like, I would let God redeem this in my life if he would do it right now.
Yeah.
But I can't see how he's going to ever redeem this. So we do at any one moment, we kind of give God a letter grade and say, you're failing me.
Yeah.
And he's got this pumpkin pie in mind for us. But
well, he doesn't, it's so interesting how the way God works in Scripture, it's the same. He didn't tell Abraham where he was sending him. He just said, "Go and I'll show you."
Yeah.
And a lot of things, he didn't reveal to him the fullness of what was going to happen. And I feel like, for me, I always want to know what the result is. But I'm like, but if I knew that, would I start trying to make it happen?
Right.
Rather than allowing my life to be lived in such a way that I would discover it with God as I went along.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And I think one of the... I've had so many God things happen this week with, as you know, my mom is just now this week become the newest resident of Oviedo. She's going to be living in Savannah Court, which is an assisted living, and she's just thrilled about it.
Yeah.
And here's something so crazy, except it's a God thing. So I go over there Saturday night. I just show up. I've been working around the church. So I have these incredibly grubby clothes on. I show up. The lady who usually talks to people about it is not there. So the guy calls her on the phone. She comes over from her house to see me. And they have not had a room available there in 2.5 months. But she says, "We have a room. It's just opened up. Let me take you to see it." And so... I see it. Anyway, Mom's over here now. So we go to the door of the room to show her. The room that's available is 2A. My mom's condo number for the last 20 years that she's been living in is condo 2 room,
Condo 2.
2A.
Wow.
She's like, "This is it."
Wow.
She didn't need to see another.
Aw.
Yeah. So she's very happy. We're very happy.
That's phenomenal.
She just, all the way through, she kept saying, "This is such a God thing." And I kept thinking about that illustration of none of this has felt like, something that I expected to live into.
And it's like God was comforting, first and foremost, your mother.
Yeah.
in what she's going through. So you were just out there like doing all these things, and your mom was just
scrambling.
Yeah.
I sent you a picture yesterday. My truck was completely loaded with all this stuff, just literally hanging over the sides. And I sent this picture to several people, and I said, the grapes of wrath, that picture of the people heading west. And my brother sends back, no, the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yes, that's what I thought too. Totally. If you don't know what that is, then forget about it. But if you know the Beverly Hillbillies, I totally looked like that.
But now it's funny because I've kind of I do this a lot. I give you a hard time because I end up with what I consider to be the tougher scriptures on preaching. So the last 2 weeks. So that means you've signed up to start this new series, which is really convoluted to explain. And have at it, Pastor Patina.
Thank you. Yeah. So, I think the obvious answer is we're going into Advent. And so we have a whole Advent series, and it's called Anticipating Christmas. And so it sounds pretty generic, but what we're really going to try to do is really emphasize that we have this expectation of Christmas, but we also have the expectation of Jesus' return. So all this new, we also have an expectation in our church family. We were going through new things, change. So, but the piece that we can't let go of is the tradition and the old. So, and that's really what Advent is. It is the old and the new and the present.
Right.
And sometimes we get we're looking so heavily into the expectation and the new that we forget about the old. And so I started thinking about what tradition is and doing a little bit of research on it. And I thought, tradition brings people a lot of comfort. It helps them feel like they're part of something. But in the Christian faith, tradition is much deeper than that. And so this week is the first week, and I'm going to be talking about belonging. So what does that mean? Well, we belong to something that's been that's very old, very, very old. As a matter of fact, from Genesis in the Bible, like from the old Hebrew scriptures. So we're going to be talking about the old, the new, belonging, believing. It's a lot, but it's going to be fun because each week we're also going to be unveiling an old tradition, Christian tradition, and also talking about some of the new things that people are doing.
I was going to say we're doing an old tradition, but we're using a lot of new things and technology to make it happen.
Yeah, there's and the sanctuary is going to look a lot different when people come in. There's some cool stuff that's going on in there. And the other thing that we're doing as a part of this whole Advent season, because we know people are busy, but we want people to be really as connected to the real reason for what Advent is and Christmas. And so we are going to have an online Advent calendar. So each day, you've provided scriptures, so they'll have a scripture they can read. And then on every Tuesday, there will be a question for the adults that they can answer or something fun about tradition. And then every Thursday, there'll be a children's special things. But the thing about it is they won't have it all on December 1st.
Day at a time.
One day at a time. And you have to go to the website and you have to click there's a gift box, click the box, and it will take you directly to that day. So it'll change every single day.
And that's cool because you can do this as an individual. Mm-hmm. You can do it as a couple. You can do it as a family.
Yes.
So at multiple levels, this is a day-by-day journey as we anticipate Christmas.
I think it's going to be we've never done anything like this before, so it's going to be really fun. The other thing that Damien helped design a little logo. So I wanted people to be able to pass out a little gift bag. So the objective is we have these little bags and we'll have some information about the church in it, but we want them to go buy a gift for their neighbor, for a family member, for a friend, for a coworker, like an ornament, something simple, or bake cookies.
Make some cookies. Yeah.
Put it in the bag and then invite somebody. And within the bag, it'll have a card with all of the list of activities we have. And then it'll also have how to get to our Advent calendar online. And they can invite their friends or whoever it is to church for whatever event they want. So we have a lot of ways to engage our community.
And, so and lots of things filling up the calendar for folks to be a part of, children, youth, adults. Yeah.
We have a lot. I mean, that's the way Advent is. It's a huge celebration, but it's really hard to kick it off, you know? And here you go. So it's been really busy, but I think for me, you know, I always say, like, I'm not, how do I want to say this? I love Christmas, but because I'm in the church, I feel like the whole Advent season, and you probably feel like this too, that our lives are filled with, let's create moments for our church family to experience Advent in a new, fresh way. It's the same story. It's the same reminder, the same traditions, but let's present it in a way where we can all be a part of and do this together.
Well, I think one of the things for me, we've led congregations for so many years, and the stories for us are uber familiar.
Yeah,
you know, we resonate with the same scriptures year after year. How do you present these in a way that's not just fresh for others, but fresh? We need to experience it anew ourselves. So you and I tend to try to do something a little different every year. So this will be that.
This will definitely be that. Well, and I want to share a side story, and I won't say her name because she would probably be okay with it. But when we were decorating, this year we did something different. We invited everybody to help decorate the sanctuary after our worship services. And it was a very different thing, a way to do it. Typically, after church, everybody would gather who was going to help. But we're kind of really having to depend on others right now. So somebody was helping after, I think it was between 9:30 and 11.
Right.
And they were setting up the altar with the nativity. And she said, she's in my Bible study on Tuesday night, and she said that she, as she set it up, she said, I felt so blessed to be allowed to set that up for my church. And she said, like, in that moment, I was just like overwhelmed with God's blessing. It was so cool. I'm like, you know, her mindset was, you know, nobody had ever said anybody can do this to her, you know, so she was like setting that, and it was very personal for her. It was really awesome.
It's funny because I had multiple people tell me that they'd never, because usually we'll do it on a separate day. It'll be a Wednesday, and we'll have, like a smaller group of people that kind of take that task. We just threw it open to everybody, and everybody that was there. And, you know, I wish we could claim that we were smart enough to think that people were going to have that experience of how overwhelming it is to be able to offer this gift to the rest of the congregation. We didn't. We just thought, hey, this will be a nice way to slice up this project.
It'll make life easier for us, you know. And then we realized when we open it up, because this is our church, and that's kind of what we're really pushing during this Advent season, which is we are a family church.
Yeah.
And we are part of not only our church, this congregation, but we are part of the family of God. And when we do these things, it connects us to one another and to God. That's what we feel great comfort in that. So anyway, that was really cool.
I know we always make announcements, and we encourage people to read their bulletins and look at the calendar. I really just can't say strongly enough how important it is for folks to kind of look at everything that we're offering during Advent, and craft your schedule around not missing the things that we're offering, the musical that the choir and a cell and the orchestra that he's bringing.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss that. No. You don't want to miss the children's musical that they're doing. So Kaylee said she had to cut off the amount of people that are doing Parents' Night Out
I think she has like 61 kids. She's like, we can't.
She's going to need a parent night out.
That's right. A month out, So I mean, and then they're going right. They're doing the, what are they doing?
Gingerbread night into the musical.
Or gingerbread night
it's the
into
same night.
I thought it was, okay, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. So there's all kinds of things happening.
Yeah, and even Christmas Eve day.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have one service. We've done that a couple of times recently. We've had great, and it's not great for our marketing to outside people because it's confusing. But we're going to have one 10 o'clock service Christmas Eve morning. It's at 10 a.m. We always do, make everybody change their service time. Right. So 10 a.m. and we're encouraging folks to wear their pajamas.
Yes.
To worship that day.
And this is part of so what's old and what's new. So what's old, just to give people an insight, I don't even know if I think I copied you on an email, but what is old is, the old tradition is gift giving. And so we're going to talk about what that is, but we're also encouraging everyone to bring in some canned goods for Lawton Elementary because we know that they will be depleted after Christmas. So to bring in, and that'll be part of our gift giving, that's the old tradition. But the new tradition, which is bizarre to me, which I participate in, is pajamas that you wear with your family and get a picture taken. So I went out and bought me some pajamas and Shepherd, and then the new baby, Elise, when she comes here. So Nana and my 2 grandchildren, nobody else has the same. You see where my priorities are. But yeah, we're encouraging everyone to literally wear your pajamas and robes and slippers to church on Christmas Eve morning. I was going to say, if
you've seen the pajamas I sleep in, you would have bought me just to be on the safe side. It's like, just so Pastor Brian doesn't wear his sleeping attire, we're going to buy something for him.
Yes. Yeah. Or you can go to Walmart and find a sale. But anyway, yeah. So I was trying to see what else. I mean, it's hard to we have a lot. We talked about the online calendar.
So December the 3rd, this coming Sunday, we've got a couple of opportunities to be a part of a congregational meeting. It's after the 9:30, and then after the 11 o'clock service, we're going to offer just an informational meeting. The lay leaders are going to be making recommendations about where they believe we need to go as a church family in terms of denomination, and that'll set us up for us to have a vote. I believe our date for voting is December the 17th, mm-hmm. So you really want to come and be a part of the December 3rd, so you have some information about why the leadership is taking us in the direction that they hope that they can. So
do you have an idea of how long that? I mean, it won't be a long meeting, right?
Yeah. I think you're looking at maybe 30 minutes at the most. They're going to give you some real bullet point things to think about. Yeah. And So.
And I will mention this too, an honorary mention of you have a special thing happening and our traditional worship service, don't you?
Yeah. So it's really been we've not all been together as a family since COVID, and my one daughter, Hannah, lives in Australia. So it started out she was going to come to be with us, and she's going to be here for about a month from Australia. She's finished up law school. But now it's worked out that my son, Kelsey, and his wife, Jessica, and their little one, Luella, who's now 9 months old, we're going to be doing her baptism this weekend at the 11 o'clock service. So
I can't wait. I can't wait to see her in person.
So many of you have been praying for her. She had that open heart procedure a few months ago, and she's just amazing now. Her scar is almost gone.
Wow.
It's just really been quite the miraculous healing.
How old is she now?
She's just a little over 9 months.
Okay.
A little over 9 months.
What size is she? What size clothing does she wear?
Tiny. She's about the size of a 6-month-old.
Okay.
So, yeah, I can show you 400 videos, 8,000 pictures if you'd like.
That's going to be special.
We're going to have a little reception actually in between the services, in between 9:30 and 11, just to thank people for praying for her. And so
that's going to be awesome.
Pretty exciting.
That's very exciting.
I'm sure I won't be emotional at all.
No, not at all. What a wonderful opportunity for you, to baptize her? And
Yeah, I've not baptized any of my children.
Yeah.
I chose to just be their dad for that, and I chose to do the same with Kelsey's wedding.
Yeah.
But when they, said, grandkids, that's kind of...
Yes.
And so for them, I want to do that for them. So, so we're going to see what that's exactly like for the first time.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
Yeah.
So I know that's all. You have your class tonight.
Yes, I do.
And Dustin has her class.
Yeah, those are the two things that we're offering. Two different Advent series. One is just for women with Dustin, and then mine is for anybody that wants to attend. We're talking about Mary tonight.
Oh,
the
that's
miracle
good.
that is Mary.
Yes.
Yeah.
This sounds awesome. So we are going to continue going, and I mean, I don't know, how long are you, just in case anybody's wondering?
Yeah, I've got 3 more weeks after this.
Okay.
Dustin, I think, is the same.
Okay.
I think we've actually ended up on the same schedule.
Look at that. All right. Well, that's all I have. I just want to thank you guys for tuning in, and we do have Wednesday night dinner as well. So hopefully we'll see some of you then, and have a blessed day.